and welcome to all of our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Public Relations Manager and MC for Gold Learning. Well, welcome everyone as I get to sit down with Pamela Morrison today. Welcome, Pamela. It's great to have you back here at Gold.
Thank you very much, Fiona. It's wonderful to be here.
Well, I'm excited to share a little bit of Pamela with you today. And so, with that, Pamela, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what your practice might look like now, and then tell us why this topic. Why did you choose this topic? And I'll introduce the topic. So, managing low weight gain in the exclusively breastfed baby. Not enough milk, how to know what to do. And it's a great topic because I know this is something that comes up a lot. But why don't you tell us why you thought that this was an important topic to share on?
Well, I thought it was important because I've got quite a lot of experience working with babies who were not gaining weight well enough. When I practiced in Harare, I used to receive referrals from the pediatricians if ever the babies were not gaining well, and sometimes they had gained very poorly for several weeks, and sometimes it was just a little bit. But it it was an exciting topic because um, there's so much that an IBCLC can do, and while the doctor monitors the baby's health and makes sure the baby is okay, the IBCLC can work on the breastfeeding to kickstart the breastfeeding and the breast milk supply again if it has dwindled. And it's altogether a very rewarding thing to work with. So this is why I enjoyed doing it. And since I've been in England, I'm sort of semi-retired now, but I still do work with quite a few low weight gain babies, and I still also support colleagues if they are working with low weight gain babies as well.
Hmm, that's fantastic. Well, thanks for letting us know what you're doing these days and why this topic caught your attention. So, can you tell me when you were sort of looking at this again and sort of really researching it and putting this together for Gold, can you tell me what caught your attention the most when you were researching this topic, Pamela?
One of the most frustrating things about this topic is that the information is available in our lactation texts and our books that we study for our exam, but the information is sort of scattered all over the place, and it's not often all in one place. So, one of the things that I've gradually done over the years is to try and put together strategies and protocols that mothers can use, employing all the tips and ideas that can be found in our literature, but to put them all in one place. So I guess that was one of the most striking things that I noticed when I was researching the topic to prepare this for Gold, that I had to look all over again in all sorts of places.
Wow, and that's actually very interesting. I've never thought about that before, but I'm starting to think about our text and where we resource and how we get the information. And I can see how that would happen, that you would start to see a bit of piecemealing happening with information in different areas about babies. So that's very interesting. And thank you for sort of bringing that to light in terms of, this topic, because you can see how that actually could have a detriment on treating babies. And is that something that you've seen, Pamela?
I think so because you know how we brainstorm with our
Mm.
colleagues, and it's often apparent that different colleagues have different information, and they often sort of think that that might be the only information
Right.
that there is.
Yeah.
And so we can share this with each other and broaden our repertoire, if you
Yeah.
like, and increase the number of strategies in our toolbox to help mothers whose babies are not getting enough milk.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the greatest things that I have appreciated after feeling quite isolated for many years was actually working with a team of other IBCLCs, because we can, always call upon them. And even when some of them were semi-retired or perhaps some were busy with children, we've always been part of a sort of small collective group in our area. Um, and so it's really nice to have that, collaboration type of feel, and also to ask those questions so that we're not feeling like the information, because it is true, sometimes you go and see a client and sometimes it feels like it's a duplicate client, you're seeing the same situation over, so you give them the information that you've used previously, but sometimes that's not the correct information, and I think we're, coming to recognize that every mother baby dyad is so unique that sometimes what works for one would never work for another. But until you investigate that, it's hard to know. So it's really good to have all of these ideas in order to sort of, like you said, try and, tips and tricks on how to figure out what's really going to work. Is that something? Yeah, is that
Absolutely,
something that you've been
yes.
able to do in your area, Pamela? Have you been able to work with other IBCLCs and sort of have that sort
Yes,
of feel as well?
yes. And it's very rewarding to be able to do that. It's wonderful. And you can share information with each other, and it's a very nice way of working. It's also, I think, very nice with if IBCLCs can work with doctors as
Yes,
well, because each party brings to the table different skills and vital
totally.
information, vital knowledge as far as doctors are concerned, but they may not have the training on breastfeeding and lactation that we
Right.
do. So we can all collaborate, and it's very
Yeah,
helpful.
no, absolutely. I really like that collaborative care, and we are starting to hear more of it. I mean, I know it's not in everyone's area. I know that there isn't always a lot of conversations that go back and forth, but I think that we're through, sometimes even through my clients, I'll encourage them to say, talk to your doctor, tell them that you've seen an IBCLC, and then that way the communication starts, which I think is really great as well. So it's good to hear that we're seeing more and more of it because we've worked hard to be part of the community of healthcare providers as well. So lastly, before I let you
Yes.
go today, Pamela, I just want to know, what are you most looking forward to sharing with our delegates while teaching on this topic?
Well, Fiona, I guess what I'm most looking forward to sharing are the tips and strategies that have been collected over the years and that seem to work. The characteristics shown by low weight gain babies, the way some of these characteristics are mistaken for other problems, and the need to keep an open mind, and some of the strategies that we can use to really help mothers to feed the baby and protect the milk supply and remedy the situation all at the same time so that there is a really good outcome in the end. And some of this is very time consuming, but it's very, very rewarding when you can meet a skinny baby and a couple of months later, that baby is fat and thriving and still
Wonderful.
breastfeeding. So I guess that's the most
Oh,
exciting thing
that's
for
great.
me.
Well, I too, I'm looking forward to hearing all of that. I think it's imperative, to be on this continuum of learning, when you work in the field, because there's always things that are changing, and keeping an open mind, I think, is what you just mentioned. And I think that's a great way to, to be open to learning either new or just relearning, because there's so much in this field. It's incredible. So thank you so much for sitting down and just chatting with us today. It's been great catching up with you and hearing all about this topic. And again, we'll look forward to having you be part of the conference here for 2017. Thank you again, Pamela. It's been great chatting with you.
Thank you, Fiona.
And thank
Thank
you to
you.
our listening delegates. It's always a pleasure to share these stories with you, and we'll look forward to having you back again. Bye bye for now.